Hey man, look, some people they have no filter when it comes to their mouth. I had a coworker, and this man, we're talking about sports, and this dude, we were talking about black athletes and whatever, and this man sat here and said this. He was like, this is a white dude, by the way, just for context, and he was like, when it comes to sports, when it comes to athletics, not to be racist, but when it comes to you blacks, it's just in your DNA. And I just straight up looked at him, and my other coworker looked at him, and we was just like, nigga, what? But yo, what's good with you guys? My name is Fanta. Welcome back to another video, man. So first of all, look, I've been capping so hard. Okay, I know when I said when the Destiny DLC was gonna drop, that I was gonna be all over it. See, here's the thing, the DLC dropped, and I played it a little bit, and then the Elden Ring DLC kind of dropped, and then I was playing X Defiant. I didn't even make X Defiant videos. Then I kept having issues with my audio splitter when it came to recording stuff, so I just didn't care. So I ain't gonna lie, yo boy just been chilling. I ain't gonna cap. There ain't nothing wrong with me. I've been able to come home, get some gameplay in here and there. I've been on Elden Ring, but I just haven't cared to make a cut commentary video. I'm not gonna cap to you, man. I just haven't had the will to hop on Destiny, jump into some PvP, grind, raid, nightfalls, whatever other activity. I just haven't had the passion to really just hop on here and just do that. So you know what we're gonna do today? Just for good old times. Oh heck no, it's Iron Banner this week too. Oh no, that's dead. I'm not hopping into Iron Banner. Wait, so we don't have regular control? There's no regular control. Oh no, it's right here. I'm stupid. All jokes aside, I have been good. I've been living my life, working, hanging out with the homies, doing, IRL stuff, just, having a good time, just being me. So, everything is good on that end. As far as the technical end, first of all, I got a whole new camera angle there's two reasons for this camera angle right here. I never used this angle before, but, Elden Ring it's interesting. Okay, Elden Ring really brings out some, some very feral, some very primal emotion that one doesn't regularly exhibit on a normal basis, and let's just say things just got out of hand. All right, and it broke. Okay, this connected to like a mount. So like the camera will go in between here, and the mount will go on like something else that's like magnetic almost, and I broke the mount in half. I'll just leave it at that. It's broke. Okay, it broke. I don't want to talk about it. I don't even want to. We're not. That's just gonna be for a different day. I don't want to speak on it. But I have been doing a little bit of the campaign on my hunter here and there, so I finally unlocked Storm's Edge. I've been goofing around with it for a little bit. That's gonna be what I'm gonna be using in PvP today. As far as the prismatic stuff, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's not as broken in PvP as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like absolutely just like unbearable to play, but it's really not that bad. As you can see by my light level, I have barely touched the campaign on my hunter. I've touched a little bit more on my Titan and my Warlock, surprisingly. Funny enough, my homeboy, he did say I could use his account to make videos on if I really wanted to, but I didn't really take him up on the offer. I thought about it, but we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, man, I had to take like a brief little break from Elden Ring. I ain't gonna lie, it's gaming should be enjoyable. When you really think about it, gaming should be something where you escape from reality. You know what I'm saying? I hop into gaming to get away from the stress. And I hopped into the Elden Ring DLC, and I'm not gonna lie, that game, that DLC added a lot more stress than it was intended. Okay, I'm not gonna cap to you. There was a lot more added. When you play any Souls-like game, right? I know Elden Ring is like a lot of people's like first Souls-like game or Souls, related game. But like, here's the thing, when it came out, people were complaining that the DLC was too hard, blah 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 blah. Okay, if you never played Dark Souls, that's literally the whole point. Like, the game is literally intended to be like the most difficult thing in the world for absolutely no reason. I mean, everything is hard. Nothing is meant to be easy on that game. So I'm seeing like IGN posts, I'm seeing Reddit posts of people literally complaining about the difficulty of the game, and I'm just like, yeah, if this is your first like Souls-like game, then I'm not surprised that's like why they're acting like that, or why they would say that. I try to come home, I try to have a good time, and for the most part, you know, Elden Ring, it's a very enjoyable experience. You know, it's one of the few RPG games, you know, well, Dark Souls in general has always been like really solid, but you know, it's one of like the few RPG games where I can just get on it, make all kinds of builds, replay like, you know, the story over and over again, make multiple builds, and like there's so many builds that you can make that makes like every playthrough so different. You know what I'm saying? There's different kinds of magic, different kinds of like, you know, between like decks and you know, strength builds, arcane builds, the hybrid combo builds you can do, and then like the PvP builds you can do. You know, there's so much variety that you can do on that game. But when it comes to actually like, you know, fighting bosses, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to like the meat of the actual game itself, it's sometimes, and I just sometimes, you might have to consider getting put on blood pressure medication. Now, I will say, will any Souls game or would Elden Ring be any more fun if it wasn't as difficult as it was? Absolutely not. But this DLC right here, it's really challenged, you know, it's challenged my will, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? It's really challenged my resolve. I've really had to question my own personal resolve. I had to question myself, why do you play this game? You know what I'm saying? Why do you really play? There's a couple bosses on there where after like fighting it for like 2 hours, you know, it was a boss that took me 2 hours to beat. And it shouldn't have really took me 2 hours to beat. It was a very gimmicky boss, but I was just getting trolled the whole time. I ran out of ammo. I actually ran out of ammo. There you go. You know, but I sat there and questioned myself, and I'm like, I've been dying to a hippopotamus for 2 hours. I've been dying to a giant hippo for 2 hours. I've slayed demigods, and I'm just sitting here dying to a freaking hippo. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you have to put the controller down, put the mouse and keyboard down, put that to the side, turn the monitor. Sometimes you just gotta go outside and get some air. And then you go outside, you get some air, you feel really good about yourself, you come back and you jump right back into the same bullcrap that put you into therapy in the first place. Okay, well, I like how when I activate my super, like, everybody, like, there's, like, nobody to be found. I love it. Now, I will say, when it comes to, like, how long it takes, you know, to beat the game, I don't take nowhere near as long as some other, like, streamers that play Elden Ring. There was, like, one streamer, he sat there and took, like, almost, like, 20 hours to beat Mesmer or something like that. It took him 20 hours straight. Yeah, it's not taking me that long. Okay, I think some people, they kind of play, you know, Elden Ring a little bit more hard-headed. Like, don't get me wrong, if you're doing like a challenge, if you're doing like a no summon challenge, a no spell challenge, or like or you can only use like one kind of weapon challenge, that's one thing. But if you're just playing the game, and especially if this is like your first Souls-like game that you're playing, and you're putting like all these limitations on yourself just to get trolled in the long run, I don't think it's worth it. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, I even got my homeboy Gary. Well, I mean, I can't say I got him. He, you know, he went out his own way to get the game himself. But you know, I've been helping my homeboy Gary with Elden Ring. I'm from what I'm getting, I think he's been having a great time playing the game. I don't think he would have invested as much time as he has if he wasn't enjoying it to some extent. It's just always good, like, you know, especially like when there's a game that you really love, especially when it's like a genre I really like. There's not too many people within like my own personal circle that really enjoy like Souls-like games like on a normal basis. So when Elden Ring came out, Elden Ring like really appealed to like the masses. I don't want to say it appealed to the mass, but it really caught on to like to the masses a lot more than any other Souls-like game. When you see like a lot of people kind of like hop on it, give it a good try and everything, I tried to like, you know, help them out, or I try to give people like tips, not necessarily like hold their hand or like, you know, backseat game, but I try like to really Arbalest. Oh, I actually lost that gunfight. But I try to make the experience as enjoyable as possible. If they got questions on how something is made, how like builds are done, how you're supposed to build, you know, what's a good weapon, what's not a good weapon, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, if you can hop on a genre that I really enjoy, and if there's something I can do to make you enjoy it just as much as I do, then I'm all for it, man. Elden Ring was one of those games, because I'm like, I remember when Elden Ring first came out, not a lot of my immediate friends, especially within like my Destiny clan, not a lot of them actually played it until a little bit recently now. Going back to the point I was making earlier though, yeah, when it comes to like, you know, Souls games, you know, are they difficult? Yes, they're intended to be difficult. It's not really intended to be the easiest of all experiences. Not saying that, you know, you can't cheese some bosses or make certain bosses like, you know, super trivial. I ain't saying that. The game is designed to be difficult, but the game developers give you the tools to make it a lot easier, you know what I'm saying? Well, I think like the middle ground is, I think some people become very elitist about it, talking about some, oh, if you use spells, if you use summons, if you upgrade this item, if you use this kind of weapon, you know, you're not playing the game right, blah. I'm not one of those kinds of people that try to like be real, you know, elitist about freaking Souls games, you know? I am definitely an advocate of use whatever you can to complete the game, okay? Oh, you're pissed. Oh, you're pissed. Oh no. I know y'all weren't supposed to lose that fight. That's tough. I ain't gonna lie. That was a 3v1 right there. I ain't, if I'm the other team, I'm pissed. Y'all lost by 1.2, man. Ah, that's tough. Regardless, though, been having a very enjoyable experience overall on the DLC. Okay, now have I been losing brain cells here and there? Absolutely. But anyways, I'm gonna end the video right there. You know, I've had two, you know, really solid games of PvP. You know, I played 2 games and we're just gonna leave it there. All right, normally I would have played for like a good 2 hours of recording, but we're just gonna end it right there at 30 minutes. You know, just a solid 30 minutes of yappery from me.